Hi there, in this short demo, I'll show you how to utilize IDHub certifications, also known as access reviews, alongside reporting to help ensure regulatory compliance is met and access creep is not a thing. To begin, I'm logged in as Samantha. She is a system administrator and has a whole slew of tools on her IDHub dashboard. Let's first navigate to the Review Certifications page, where we can see all of this organization's access reviews. We're going to focus on this review here, IT Department Access Review. I'm going to open this up for edit so we can look at the configurations. In this review, we're targeting all of the users in this organization that are part of the IT department. The way that we did this was by query. Our query says department equals IT. However, we can add as many different queries as we need to target the group that we're looking for. In this case, I'll leave it as department equals IT because I only want to look at the members of the IT department. Moving on to resources, we're also using a query here, disabled equals false. This is going to ensure that we look at all of the active resources that are available in this organization. Again, you can also add any query needed to determine what resources you're going to look at, or you can add them manually as well. Let's move on to the certifier. To make this demo simple, I selected Samantha as the certifier. However, you can select a role like IT Director or the Beneficiaries Manager, which would be any person who is in the IT department. Whoever their direct manager is will be responsible for reviewing their access. Or lastly, we have Resource Owner. That would be the person who's responsible for that specific resource. So if we're looking at 5 different people in the IT department, each one of those people could have a number of different applications or permissions. Each one of those applications or permissions could potentially be a different resource owner. So that person who is configured as the resource owner would get the task to certify within the access review. Moving on to the scheduler. This organization uses a quarterly scheduler to send out certification tasks on a quarterly basis. On the 15th day in Central Standard Time at 1:37 a.m. and it always triggers every single quarter. It never ends. Schedulers can be set daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or not to be repeated, which means that it would only be run when someone manually starts it. Moving on, this is our configuration page where we can require that comments are made on all certify operations or revocations. We can allow reassignment or prevent self-certification. If we're allowing for reassignment, then we can select the user's manager. So this would be the certifier's manager, in this case, Samantha's manager, or a named user or a role. We also have this awesome feature called trigger settings. This is when a certification task will trigger outside of its scheduler or outside of manually running if any of the users that are in the certification have a department change, a status change, a job change, the business owner changes on any of the resources that they have access to, or any other custom trigger that you need to ensure that you're always on top of access creep. This is a review of the configuration within our access review. We can see that there are 5 users, Travis, Tiffany, Michael, Jenny, and Georgia, that are in the IT department. These are all of the resources that are active for this organization. So we're looking at every single resource against those 5 users. And we can see that this is going to be run on a quarterly basis, and the certifier is Samantha. So she'll get all the tasks for these 5 people. We'll go ahead and run this certification so we can see what those tasks look like. In a second here, Samantha is going to get some tasks for those 5 people. We're going to look at a couple of these so I can show you the difference. So let's open Travis. So we can see that it automatically is confirming that we want to certify this. There's nothing that we have to do. I'm going to say no for a second so I can show you why this auto certified. It's because all of Travis' access comes out of birthright roles. We can see that he's a manual fulfiller. He has an all employees role. He has an IT team role and an IDHub user role. And we can see that all of these permissions came from roles. So like IT group came from a IT role, Zendesk came from the IT team role, AWS came from the IT team role. We can see that Google Workspace came from all employees role. So my point here is that each one of these birthright roles is why Travis has access to all of these resources, these 30 resources. So the certification is complete. So we can just click complete, give our reason, and we're done with that task. Let's look at Jenny. Hers looks slightly different. So when we look at Jenny, she's 93.75 complete. That's because, just like Travis, she has a bunch of access that came out of some birthright roles. However, it looks like she has an application called Buffer and an application called Greenshot. So Buffer is a marketing app. Being in the IT department, I don't think she should have access to this. So I'm going to revoke this. And Greenshot is a screenshot app. I don't think there's a problem with her keeping this. So now that I'm done, I've initiated a revocation from this task, which means that it's going to follow the approval workflow and revoke that access to Buffer immediately. And everything else she'll keep. So I'll go ahead and complete the certification. And that's what certification tasks look like. These are similar to Travis, meaning they all have access only from roles. So I'll quickly move through these and certify all of these. Now that we're done with the tasks, I want to hop on over to our reporting page where I can show you how you can easily pull that data for the IT team and get it in a report. So we're going to go to the user access report. I'm going to click run now, and I'm going to add the parameter IT. Department is IT. And we'll just run it now. So while this is thinking, this is going to pull all of the data for the IT team users. And while it's processing, once it is processed, we can download this in a PDF form or in a spreadsheet form. And we can provide that to the auditors to ensure that regulatory compliance is met. Let's view this report. We can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here are 5 users that fall into this criteria. And we can see all of the applications they have access to. If I go back, I can grab that in a PDF form and I can simply download it and it'll go right to my downloads. And I can have that report right here handy. Now, any specific data that you need on this report can be configured into this actual report. And however you need to read it, it can also be configured that way. Let's say you needed Georgia to have the application, the entitlement, or the permission to that app the day it was provided and the manager that provided access. We can certainly do that in this report. Our reporting is super easy to customize, and it's something we do for you during implementation so that you have exactly what you need to ensure that your auditors get exactly what they need. That's really all for access reviews and reporting. Check out our page to see some other demos for some of the other features that we have to help meet regulatory compliance. Thanks for watching.